last thing we'll be talking about this week is Full Gear. AEW Full Gear that is dropping Saturday. What's your excitement level on Full Gear this year?
You know, I'm gonna be honest, man. I wasn't really like too excited for it this year as opposed to like previous years, but I'm not gonna lie. Looking at the match card, I'm starting to get more excited about it. And I'm starting to like it's starting to get me now. It's really starting to get me. And it happens all the time with AEW. Sometimes with some of these AEW pay-per-views, it seems like it pops up on me, right? Because I'm trying to keep up with everything, and then it's like, oh shit, it's a pay-per-view this weekend. Oh dang, like I'm not. Am I ready for this? And then I look at the match card, and I'm like, wait a minute. I may not know exactly what's going on in every feud, but I'm aware.
I'm aware.
And and I'm like, okay, I have a reason, or I could come up with a reason if I had to watch every single match on this card. Will I be pins and needles like tuned in, focused on nothing but Full Gear? No, because it's college football Saturday, and I'm probably going to be trying to watch college football and hit a parlay. But AEW is going to be I'll probably have AEW if it's not on TV Junior, it's going to be on my laptop.
Oh yeah, it'll definitely be because I have 1, 2, 3. I have 3 monitors in front of me, so it'll be somewhere.
Yeah, it's going to be somewhere. It's going to be somewhere. Trust me.
I guess we can give our quick like preview of everything and then give our predictions and see how we see the match going. But first things first, I guess the first match we'll talk about is Swerve Strickland versus Big Bobby Lashley. And the reason why I say that one is because potentially Swerve might be injured, separated shoulder.
Yeah, I always had the idea that Bobby Lashley was going to come out on top when they first announced this match. The Swerve injury drives that point home even more. I just think you can't have Bobby Lashley lose in his debut match with AEW. He's much too big of a star, and you could always sell Swerve losing as he has to overcome yet another obstacle in order to get back to where he ultimately wants to be.
Yeah, I agree. So me and you on the same boat as far as Bobby Lashley winning regardless, but now the injury adds a story element to where it gives you a reason to prolong this story. And then if Swerve doesn't require surgery because it's a separated shoulder, I don't know like the extent of the injury. Well, I don't even know if it's a separated shoulder, but he showed an X-ray, and it looked like the shoulder ain't supposed to look like that. Ain't supposed to be that far apart from his chest. So I'm like, yeah, that's definitely at least by minimum a separated shoulder. If it requires him to take time off, they can literally turn it into like an injury angle, like they did with Jamie Hayter when she lost the women's title to Toni Storm that one time. They can literally turn it into an injury angle and kind of make you feel bad. The only downside is they lose one of their top guys in Swerve Strickland. So hopefully that doesn't do any long-term damage to what they got going on. So
the separated shoulder thing, I believe the surgery will hinge upon if there's like ligament damage or what have you that has to be surgically repaired. If it can just be rehabbed then and rested, then he's fine. But I think that's where the length of time for the being out for the injury is where that lies.
True. Speaking of injuries, this next match is pretty much because of injury. It is once again Jay White continuing his revenge tour against Hangman Adam Page, and the last match they had. What was the last pay per view? Yeah, I enjoyed that one. So them running it back isn't making me it's not gonna make me lose sleep. But who do you got? How do you see this one playing out?
Honestly, I would love to see Jay White win this one and further send Hangman spiraling. I think that would tell the story because that could add to Jay White's asshole of a character and say, "Hey, look what I did! I sent the great Hangman Page spiraling, blah 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 blah," and then Hangman can continue to spiral out of control and become more unhinged. you know, as and they can go a myriad of different ways with that character, you know, being unhinged. So I think a Jay White win would serve everyone well here. Although a Hangman win could serve a purpose, but I just feel like a Jay White win would be more beneficial.
True. Like but the only downside I feel like Hangman hasn't really won a lot of matches since the Swerve Strickland steel cage match. So
That
I
is
would
true. That is
so
true.
I would definitely I feel like Hangman should win this one by dubious means because he has been spiraling to the point where he's just desperate to never feel weak again and never fall or fail again. So I definitely see Hangman taking the dub here.
You know what? If I'm wrong and Hangman does win this match, I hope it is like by some sicko shit, like how AEW likes to call it. That's what I hope.
For the sickos.
Yes, for the sickos. Do something for the sickos if Hangman's gonna win this match.
I mean, yeah, they are some sickos that they pretty much had Mercedes Monday attempt to drop Kris Statlander with a car. So yeah, that's the next match. A nice little segue there for sickos because she's a sicko woman right there trying to run this woman over. Camille is forever useless. She's one arm in a sling. So it's like a lot going on. Like these bodyguards today, they just horrible when it comes to these damn when it comes to protecting their assets. So it's like
Hey man, I don't know if it was you or the enemy's account. Somebody tweeted something like that this week about these bodyguards,
that was
and
probably me because I said you are useless.
I swear I was at work when I saw it, and I'm in my office with my door closed, and I just busted out. I mean, belly laughing, like I was loud laughing. I was just glad it wasn't nobody in the office next to me or whatever because she was out on lunch or something. And like, you know, I was just glad nobody was around because I was just like, damn, it just it hit me because the first thing that came to mind was like how she reacted with the whole trying to run over her incident. Like, you messed that up. You didn't run over her right.
You got your
Then not
arm
only did
destroyed.
you get the person that you're supposed to be protected beat up, but then you got your arm put in the sling. Like you just
And
she
then
was
and
literally like you know how like when Wile E. Coyote is chasing Roadrunner and somehow he becomes involved in this big snowball and then next thing you know it just like that was Camille. That was Camille. It ended up one calamity led to another, led to another, led to another. And I'm like, this is like a real live version of Looney Tunes that I'm watching, except it's wrestling and it's female. Like this is crazy.
because she did a
Like
whole interview, and then Chris was just standing there menacingly in the back, just let her talk, and then she called for Camille when she ran, and then she literally ran out and got her arm even more damaged. So I'm like, oh my god, oh man. I'm
then
like,
you got
Mercedes,
put
you
through a
need a new
damn
bodyguard.
wall.
And then you
Then
got
she
put through
got
the
put through a
wall.
wall. Like
Like
come on, bro. Come on, man.
she got put through a
She would
wall
be.
a la Jinder Mahal and Roman Reigns. Like, come on now. Like, what?
Hey man, I almost forgot about that one. I was about to say that damn Chris Jericho Samoa Joe match, that damn
Oh yeah.
abomination. I was like, what the hell is this?
Oh yeah, I
What is
remember that.
this? Like Joe's going to go film his show. Can y'all at least give this man some dignity when you write him off the script? You're gonna have him going off the script, like writing him off the script looking crazy. Like, come on, man. That's
Yeah.
Samoa Joe, bro. Like, do him right if you're gonna write him off. God damn.
Ah. Oh man, that shit. I'm sorry.
But
That
this one,
just
okay, back, get back, folks. I think
yeah.
I think Mercedes is gonna win this one because Camille is finally gonna do something right, and it's probably gonna be by accident.
You think she gonna accidentally help Mercedes
Yes.
like, oops, my
It's
bad.
gonna be the most goof troop thing, and they're probably gonna turn Camille into like some bumbling idiot storyline or something like that after all of this. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out the way they be going because it's like you making like the CEO's bodyguard look terrible.
Terrible. A
The
la
only other
I'm about to say a la Raquel Rodriguez on
Man,
running in front of Liv. Like you're supposed to be protecting Liv, and you're out here running in front of her. Run
I could
behind
see
her.
the only way that would have worked is had she grabbed Liv's hand and was like, "Girl, let's get your ass out of here," and like
Nah,
snatched her.
Liv was trying to catch up.
That's what I'm saying. But no, she would have had to like, if you're gonna do that, if you're gonna take the lead, like grab her and like try to pull her along with you or something like that. But like, it's been a terrible like couple of weeks for bodyguards, especially female bodyguards in wrestling. The only
Oh
other
yeah.
way I could see this working out is if Mercedes gets pissed because Camille keeps messing up
Mm-hmm.
and she looks for another bodyguard and hires Stat and they try to turn Camille into a bigger star.
Like
That's the
a
only way.
little
That
flip, mini flip. The
right,
only
right,
way that would work is if Stat was
right.
still a heel.
That's
Because
what I'm
they
saying. That's the only way they would have to,
if
and
she was
they're
still a
not
heel,
gonna
but
turn her back right now.
yeah, because they literally just turned her face for this program. So it was like
That's what I'm.
if Stat was still a heel, like if Mercedes was facing somebody else and Stat was just lurking in the background, seeing
Mhm,
Camille mess up, and then she like nudged Mercedes like, "It's your girl," and then just walk off.
mhm. And see,
Like,
this is why there are certain booking decisions that they've made that I'm like, man, if you would have just pivoted just a little bit this way, maybe a little bit this way, we could really cook with this. They can still cook with this storyline. It's just I just feel like Mercedes has to win.
mm-hmm.
She has to retain, and it has to be through some sort of hook or crook. She can't go over clean over Statlander. She just
Oh
can't.
no, I feel like this has to prolong. Like it has to be extended to a stipulation match, and then Mercedes can move on
Right. Agreed.
because trying to run somebody over with a car and run through a wall doesn't stop at a regular wrestling match. Like
Nope.
it should not even be. Honestly, I feel like this match should not even be structured as a wrestling match. It should be structured as a match that is going to extend the story to where there's going to be a screwy finish.
Yes, definitely.
And I
Definitely.
know another match is going to be because we both agree that Mercedes is going to retain by dubious
Mhm.
means. But I know another match that is going to be screwy for the most part, and that is the match that threw me off and a lot of other people, and that is MJF versus Roderick Strong. At first, they was building to MJF versus Adam Cole, but they flipped it, and it was a convoluted mess. I'm not even going to hold you. They're
I don't
continuing
know.
MJF versus the United Kingdom, even though the United Kingdom are now baby faces, even though they were heels, and now MJF is the heel. And then it
And
was
that
like
they broke up because they no longer together.
because Cole was basically like Roddy, Matt, and
Uh, Fletcher is with Callis, and his
mhm.
buddy is with. But they still kind of cool, but they on opposite sides of the beat. It's a lot going on. It's a
It's a
lot of
it's
it's a
a
lot. It's a
so
lot.
basically
It's a lot going on.
MJF paid off the Callis family to
Yes.
stop Adam Cole from getting added to this match because it was going to be a triple threat match, even though it
Right.
probably should have been more of a handicap match because they're Adam Cole and Roderick Strong
Oh
hates
boy.
MJF. So why is it a triple threat instead of a handicap? And then you got when Adam Cole came back, he was like, I don't want the United Kingdom to help, not the United Kingdom, the Undisputed Kingdom. I don't know why I say United
Hmm.
Kingdom, the Undisputed Kingdom to help. So he was like, I'm gonna do this by myself. But then Roderick said he still got beef with MJF.
Right.
So MJF is like, okay, you both can wrestle 3 separate matches, and whoever wins the most wrestles me. But then Tony Khan said, okay, if both of them wins all 3, then it's gonna be a triple threat. And I'm like, this story makes no
This
fucking sense.
it reminds me of, and I just now realized where that meme and that gif came from. That guy from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, the conspiracy theory guy or whatever,
Hmm.
where he's like, yeah, and he got all this stuff on the board and everything. This is like what it's like trying to sometimes explain some of this stuff. it gets a little bit hard for me to try to follow everything, and I'm just like, you know what? At some point, I'm just gonna watch the pre-tape for the match and watch the match and just go from there.
Oh, you talking
'Cause
about like that promo recap that they do in front of?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm just gonna call it a day because I can't try to go back and understand all the different nuances of all the backstories and everything else. I'm just gonna watch the pre-tape, gonna watch the match. We're gonna go from there.
Yeah. 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 That's
With
pretty
that
much
being
what it is.
said, I expect MJF to win.
Yeah, we might as well just go ahead and because I feel like I'm already frustratingly enough talked about this as much as possible. Yeah, MJF for the win and move forward because I'm like, oh, okay, that's happening. And speaking of for the sickos, the next match we're gonna talk about is for the TNT Championship. I don't have a graphic for it, but TNT Championship, it will be for the sickos. It will be Jack Perry versus Daniel Garcia for the TNT Championship. Yeah.
Okay, I will say this. If Daniel Garcia wins this match and wins the TNT title, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think he's staying in AEW.
No, he resigned.
Oh yeah, that's right. He did resign. Okay, you're right.
Mm.
Okay. That being said, if Daniel Garcia wins this match, I see that as they're finally going to like let him start that ascent up the ladder that everybody's been waiting for.
Right.
It's gonna have to start somewhere. It might as well start with dethroning Jack Perry, taking that TNT title, and being like the actual workhorse champion for AEW. Because old school traditional mid card title is for the workhorse guy, the guy who's going to be at all the house shows, the guy who's going to go put on the 10 to 15-minute match at every TV taping and whatnot. The guy who may be the curtain jerker and get the night going, on a pay per view, or he may be the
Mm-hmm.
warm up guy or whatever before the main event, whatever it is. That guy, Daniel Garcia, is fully capable of being that guy for AEW. I think that this match, this feud and whatnot, it should end with him. If not this match, but this feud should end with him going over clean over Jack Perry and carrying on that TNT title to be their workhorse title.
I agree. So, but yeah, so I feel like I'm on the same boat as well. I feel like it's time for Daniel Garcia to finally. They got to start, like you said, they got to start somewhere. I can't add to that. I just agree with everything you just said. Like they have to start somewhere, and I feel like this would be the perfect time to do it. Hopefully, you don't get no charges brought against him because he literally did tie the grown man to the hood of a bus and just started driving.
Yeah. Um, we're gonna chalk that up to boys being boys. Look the other way. Look the other way. Look the other way.
It's just dudes being dudes. It's
Yeah,
okay.
just duding it out in the back of
Yeah,
the arena, the
yeah.
bus.
Don't worry too much. Uh, Next thing we have is a fatal four way for the tag team titles. You mentioned it earlier. We got
Mhm.
Private Party defending against the Acclaimed, the Outrunners, and Kings of the Black Throne.
I said it before and I'll say it again. Private Party needs to win this match. And I'll even go a step further as to saying they need to win this match and look good winning this match to help them establish their tag team reign. Because if you're trying to hit the reset button on that tag team division with the Bucks stepping away and you crowning Private Party as the guys who are going to carry you into this new little era or this whatever you're going to call it,
Mm-hmm.
have them establish them by having them win this match and have a decent reign with these belts by beating teams and defending these belts.
For sure. And I feel like they're also doing a cross storyline with the Acclaimed and the Hurt Syndicate. So maybe I kind of see them playing a factor or paying a close attention to this because
Mm.
they kept the card the MVP gave them, or more so, Max Caster kept the card the MVP gave him. So we'll see, but I definitely see Private Party retaining their tag team titles. This is more so like, okay, here's a coming out party. They just won the tag team titles, so now we have to establish them even more.
Right, and like you said, the Acclaim have their thing. The Outrunners are what's hot right now, and Kings of the Black Throne are, those guys are, the spooky, creepy, good wrestlers. You got a big man and another guy, and like that team works. Not just aesthetically, but also in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no better way to establish Private Party than to beat, you know, the hot new team, the spooky, crazy established team, and then the team that used to be on top that no longer is on top, but still has a little bit of a following in the Acclaim. So I just think that a Private Party win is not only what I think is going to happen, I think what should happen.
Facts. Next match before we get to the main event, it is Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher, the match you said that has been moving you the most. A
Mhm.
battle of two former friends. And I feel like as much as people like to, I feel like this match will probably steal the show
Oh, for sure,
from the men's side.
for sure, for
But
sure.
as far as who gets the win, I feel like Kyle Fletcher is going to get the win by dubious means because he just turned heel. They're trying to establish him as a bad guy in the Don Callis family, and I feel like it would be a waste of time if he just flat out loses.
Oh, for sure. I definitely think that that's going to be the way to go. And could we actually see, like you said earlier, I wouldn't mind this if I was wrong about the Hangman Jay White match and Hangman wins, doing sicko shit, but Osprey loses to Callis and family, and he is the one who starts to spiral, and he is the one who kind of goes into a tizzy. Maybe not go full hill, but like he starts teeter tottering back and forth. That would be an interesting layer of character to tell with Will Ospreay, because I
True.
don't think his character has been a heel before, but I don't think he's ever had that kind of like that,
Obsessive.
questioning. Yeah, that OCD kind of questioning himself kind of journey with his character. So that could be something, and then that could also help prop up Kyle Fletcher and help build him into the next phase of his career that he's going into, because the dude can go in the ring,
Mhm.
and he proved, this past week that he can go on the mic as well. And I thought Osprey was going to trip him up when he was like, do you want to be me or do you want to be, opposite of me? And Fletcher came back and answered that pretty well. He may not have been right off the cuff with it, but he was able to bounce back from being thrown off his pivot to come back and like, no, I'm going to fight back. I'm not just going to let you walk all over me in this promo. So I think that a Fletcher win, no matter how he does it, that's the way to go with this match.
For sure. The next, I guess, non-wrestling, we're going to have a AEW Women's World Championship celebration. It's going to be Mariah May and Mina Shirakawa on the pay-per-view.
Okay.
That's definitely a segue to probably bring back Tony Storm to the fold.
Yes.
Uh, let me see what else we got.
Not.
I believe
I
that's
will
we
never
got
get mad about having Mina Shirakawa on my
no,
TV.
no,
I, I,
no.
man, we want Mina.
We won't mean it.
We
Ain't
want Mina.
nobody, ain't don't nobody need her, but we need Mina.
We need Mina.
They need Mina. They got a match 0 hours QT Marshall versus Big Boom AJ with Big Justice. I have no idea who these people are.
He's some viral dude with these other two younger kids or whatever. Some kind of thing that I don't know what they do, but they're viral and people would like to have them around. Evidently, dude used to be a wrestler. I'm guessing he's going over. That's why they got him in the ring with QT Marshall, because he wants to have a big, a thing or whatever. QT can bump around and look good for him, and QT's got his body together. He's been in bodybuilding competitions now, so QT can bump around for him, look good doing it, and put this guy over. Let him live his dream out.
So congratulations, Big Boom AJU, for the win, and we're moving on. For the main event for the World Championship, it will be Jon Moxley versus Orange Cassidy. Yeah, man.
This one, it's got to be Moxley. It doesn't make sense.
It is.
It doesn't make sense to do anything else. It just wouldn't make sense. And I know AEW does some crazy booking decisions sometimes, but I do not think this will be one of them. I think that this is Jon Moxley all the way. How he does it, I do not even care.
Yeah, he literally said on the last promo that they just cut with him, he said, "Abandon all hope." So this Dictator Mox that they're doing, this is basically, hopefully, is going to lead to something. Hopefully the story moves on after Full Gear. But you can tell that the fact that they're kind of like taking their time with advancing the story, they're about to do some sick shit on the pay-per-view because they have more leeway on the pay-per-view than the TV shows. That's the reason why they killed Bryan Danielson in kayfabe on pay-per-view as opposed to TV, and they barely show what they did on TV. But when it's on pay-per-view, you see that they put them in the body, and he put them in a Ziploc bag. But I feel like they're going to do something dastardly here with Orange Cassidy and with Darby Allin, and then because I feel like they're going to add at least probably 3 more matches. Probably.
You think 3 more matches to this card?
Mm-hmm.
Bro,
they're doing something with Ricochet and Konosuke Takeshita. They're doing something. They're probably going to add a trios match for the titles with the Death Riders, and then maybe, I hate to say it like this, maybe a Jericho match.
Oh, jeez. I mean, it is what it is, bro. It ain't nothing we could do about it,
Yeah.
But I wouldn't mind Mox like doing something like real some more sicko shit here, and write Orange Cassidy off for a while to help further their storyline. And like it's like everybody they've come across that they've gone through, they've put out, for a while. They're literally getting rid of, these people. And, somebody's got to stand up to them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the first quote unquote victory in this war against Death Riders will be somebody like losing the match but surviving the feud. And I think that will be more like a moral or a Pyrrhic victory for whoever it is that goes through that. That can be revisited down the line. But yeah, there's a lot of meat on this bone as well. It just depends on how they plan on cooking.
For sure. And letting it marinate. So
bingo.
And that is our preview for AEW Full Gear, and that is our show, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate you guys for rocking with us.
When the club go around here, I'm a cactus, bang bang gang, I don't owe you jack. When I'm in the ring, it's just me and my best friends. OC cutting no slack. Hollywood Miz, you can put me on the A-list. Gresh Unleashed, better put it on your playlist. Me and my fam be ballin' like the Bruce. Fight night, baby, hard hitting like Sheamus. Family first, yes, bloodline business, winning all the gold. Look at how they witness.